So, guys and girls, today today's rant is let's move straight in. I'm not going to say hi to everyone. I want to get straight into this. I want you to know that one of the skills you've got to master in real estate is to have this unstoppable, irresistible listing presentation. And too many real estate agents are going into listing presentations and they've got a listing presentation based on them, not based on the client. Listen to me. If you want to win share of wallet, you've got to win share of heart. Last week, my friends, we had Todd Duncan who spoke about the importance of trust. McDonald's, what do they have as their commodity? They sell speed and convenience. They sell very ordinary food, but they do it really, really quick. In real estate, our superpower is trust. And I'm also going to say to you that if you can have a listing presentation that can convince a vendor that you will get more money for them than another agent, that's when you win the business. This is to an immediate seller. So let's start up and just say I want to break it up. Firstly, I want to let you know listing presentations are divided into immediate sellers and future sellers. An immediate seller is coming onto the market, right? End of story. They're selling. Their home is going to be on the market in the next 30 days. They're making the decision on who to pick. I'm going to say to you that you've got to go in and have your core objective of a listing presentation being focused on how will I get you more money. Now, I want to also tell you that an immediate seller is made up of two types. One that you've already got a pre-existing relationship and one that you don't have a pre-existing relationship. If it is no pre-existing relationship, I got bad news for you. Luck is your strategy. It's catch and kill. A lot of real estate agents struggle with those kinds because when there's no trust in the relationship, unfortunately, what become the deciding factors is the fee. What become the deciding factors is the marketing. That's why I know a lot of successful agents, they love the future seller appointments because they know that they can actually have a long-term relationship with that vendor on their CRM system, be giving them a digital update with a lot of these new electronic kits every 3 months. This is what your home's worth based on comparable sales. So they've got this relationship with a vendor. So the vendor is an immediate seller. They already have you as the agent they're going to use. Now, catch and kill listings are interesting ones because I'm going to tell you fee is more important in the catch and kill than in the non-catch and kills. So let's talk about the immediate seller. Let's talk about the immediate seller that you've got a relationship. Normally, you've met them in the past, you've built rapport, they've been receiving stuff off your CRM, you've been a smart agent, and you've had telephone contact with them over a period of time. And for these people, my friends, all I've got to say to you that it's more than the listing presentation on the day. It's what you've done prior to that. Now, please jot this down. The victory in real estate is not winning the business, it's pitching for the business. I'm going to say it again. The victory in real estate is not winning the business, it's pitching the business. Because when you pitch, you're in with a chance. And John McGrath once quoted a fantastic hockey coach that said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Our goal is to keep going into more and more appraisals. So, a couple of the other things I want to share with you. Firstly, I also want to tell you real estate agents do three types of presentations. The first presentation is what I call the scripted presentation. This is the dumb agent that decides that they're going to use every script or dialogue and sound like a parrot. They're going to sound like they're not authentic. They're going to sound like they're a person that has memorized these sales lines and they're going to use deceptive techniques to try and corner a vendor. They can smell bullshit a mile away, these vendors, my friends. So forget about that method. Then you've got method number two. Method number two is the vendor who has a real estate agent that goes in. And what happens is you've just got this round and round and round conversation that really gets nowhere, right? It is not solution focused. It is not actually linked to a real estate agent obtaining the business. They just have this conversation that goes around in circles, and normally the vendor controls the conversation. Let's move on to number three. Number three. The third presentation is my favorite. It is structured but not scripted. I'll say that again. It is structured and not scripted. And those of you that are watching this right now that want to develop an irresistible, unstoppable listing presentation, yes, my friends, it is commercial time. I've brought up the logo there. Realestategym.com.au has, in fact, a 15 module course on running a listing presentation from A to Z. We give you the exact templates, the exact dialogue that you'll use, but we also break up the structure, because what you need to know is that there is a number of processes in a listing presentation. At a high level, let's touch on them right now. The first bit is the pre-list. The second bit is the digital intro. The third one is the first 20 seconds when they meet you. I've got to tell you, people are going to make their minds about you within the first 20 seconds of meeting you. So it's absolutely critical that that first 20 seconds, there's connection. Then we've got what we call the guided tour. The guided tour is when you go through the property, you're taking copious notes. Smart ones have even got an electronic tape measure. You can get the app on your phone. That'll show to a vendor that you care about the detail. If it's important to them, it should be important to you. And during this guided tour, you're actually building rapport by using open-ended questions. Again, the real estate gym is got to be the place where you've got to go to actually practice this perfect listing presentation. Then we've got what we call the sit down talk. And the sit down talk is when you sit down and you start sitting with them, giving them a business plan to get them top dollar. One of the questions you've got to ask yourself when you're going to a listing presentation, are you a house price maximizer or are you a commission minimizer? And I've got to say to you, a lot of agents say to me, oh, but Tom, all they care about is getting the lowest fee. Well, let me tell you, my friends, they don't want the lowest. Saying to agents, is your listing presentation aligned to getting a vendor top dollar? Now, the next thing I'm going to say to you is every real estate agent needs to have what I call is the agenda. And the agenda, my friends, is simply bullet points, what you're going to be covering in the sit down talk. Again, at a high level, in summary, let me tell you the things that you've got to cover in your agenda. Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, I want to let you know that most people that call me out to look at their homes want me to cover the following. They want me to cover value. They want me to cover marketing. They want me to cover the fee. They want me to cover the method of sale. They want me to cover timing. They also want to cover a little bit about me and my agency. Can I ask you, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, if we were to go through all of those things, is there anything else that we need to cover for you today? That, my friends, is what I call by an agenda, by going through what you're going to cover and then for you leaving space for what they want to cover. Now, a couple of other things I'm going to share with you about listing presentations. If you want to win share of wallet, you've got to win share of heart. It is all about connection. People don't want a real estate agent. They don't want a fast talking, spruiker. They are looking for a good human being to show up that also acts as a real estate professional in house price maximization. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you about listing presentations in 2021 is you could get by and you could overprice and still get the property sold. But in the market we're operating now, which is a normal market, we're moving from nuts to normal. In a normal market, my friends, you've got to make sure that you tiptoe around the price, because what you want to do is leave the door open for a price alignment conversation within 72 hours of having the property listed. And the way that you're going to do that is you've got to give people hope, but not lie. And in the real estate gym, we cover the exact approach to that. It is not easy to give people hope, but not bullshit, right? If you're an agent that has gone in and been called Larry the Liar, overpricing, you're going to get devastated in this market because they're not going to sell. And vendors are going to say, but you said we'd get $1 million for it. Why are you coming back 2 weeks later and telling us only 900? This is what you've got to master. Tiptoeing around the price, winning the business on process, and then allowing you, by getting permission from the vendor at the listing presentation, to come back within 72 hours with intel from people that have inspected the property, including your work colleagues. Guys and girls, there are two major things that you've got to crack in real estate at a listing presentation: how you handle price and how you handle your fee. Absolutely critical. Then the third one is how you handle vendor paid advertising. But I am going to tell you, if you listen to me very, very carefully, if you learn the net figure form and how to deliver the net value to a vendor, you will be devastating your competitors and you'll be charging 0.5% more than your other agents in your marketplace. If you can learn that. In the real estate gym, there is a half-hour video that shows how to deliver the net figure form using the template. And I've got to tell you, real estate agents tell me that this has been one of the biggest things that they've got out of our listing presentation course. The ability to show a vendor that the cheapest agent and the best agent is generally not the same agent. And I've got to tell you, if a vendor ever says to you, but you're expensive, let me tell you, you should be reminding them after you've gone through the template, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, the most expensive thing you can do in real estate is to have a hot buyer in front of a bad agent. That's really expensive. And I can tell you, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, if you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait till you hire an amateur. I've got to say to you also, my friends, that if you can master this listing presentation and you have an unstoppable, irresistible listing presentation, what's going to happen is that you'll find that you'll be prospecting more because you know that you've got a weapon up your sleeve. You know that if you're sitting there in front of a vendor, you're in with a really good chance of winning the business. And it doesn't matter if you're up against a dominant agent that's got 40, 50% market share that sells the most homes in your market, because you're going to remind that vendor, we don't sell the most homes, but we sell the homes for most. Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, we made our decision a long time ago that we would work on less vendors so we wouldn't actually have a conflict of interest if we had a hot buyer on which one we would sell them. That way, we also can give you a tailored service. We're worried about getting you the best price. We don't want to necessarily sell the most homes. My friends, I'm also going to say to you that in the real estate gym, we have tomorrow at 11 o'clock a prospecting blitz. That's right. Every week, we are going to address the problem of procrastination, where agents really procrastinate with their prospecting. They struggle with starting it and finishing it. They put it off, and we're obsessed. This year, we want to create 100 new agents doing 100 sales each in 2022. If you're not a member of the real estate gym, may I suggest that you join now, because the doors are going to close very soon for our real estate intake for 2022. Hit us up on the realestategym.com.au. The investment is about $2. I think it's about $2 a day. It's less, man. It's yeah, that's right. It's less than two, but less than a coffee a day, my friends. Less than a coffee a day. Guys and girls, I'm going to leave it at that. We sweat in training so that we don't bleed in battle. Tom Panos signing off, and happy Australia Day for those that are celebrating this great country in the middle of this week.